the opposition has.
You see, there is no day to start critiquing the government. There is no stipulated timeline, 2, 4, 10 years or 5 months. You see, whatever they are doing is in line with the Constitution. Article 37, assembly, demonstration, picket, and petitions. But there are 2 words there in that article, peaceably and unarmed. If they do that, like what they've been doing, the rallies, like I think they'll have one today, the ones they've been having, those have been peaceful and everything. The Constitution allows them to demonstrate, even you to picket and send a petition even to Parliament. That is why some of us were shocked when we saw the comedian that was manhandled at Parliament, because you are allowed to take in a petition to Parliament if you have an issue. So at the end of the day, I believe one thing is for sure, the government is on record saying that they want a strong opposition.
But is the opposition honest in the quest towards some of these things that they want the government to do? And, and just one of the other things is the electoral justice they're pushing for. One
thing you have to realize is that we win elections to start campaigning for re-election. We lose elections to start campaigning for election. That is a sad reality of how our things are run in this country. Now, the former Prime Minister has suicidal supporters who need to be kept busy. And he has to also remain relevant. 5 years is a very long time. You cannot just sit somewhere and seeing someone making inroads into your perceived areas. So what is happening, number one, when he's talking about electoral reforms, which we need to have as a country, because we need to raise the threshold for IBC. Matters integrity, because the next commissioner that will come into office, so we stop having these issues of every time results have been announced, someone resigned, someone was either murdered, and another one disappeared, or actually denied the results. So we need to find a holistic way of how we actually work on IBC. Number two, in their rallies, when they talk about things like cost of living, that is well in order. When they ask for, they want the cost of living to come down, that is well in order. It is part and parcel of their duty as a critique, because you realize Masaki just said here that we should look at Parliament. He's not in Parliament, so he can't address Parliament. And those who are talking about amending the Constitution so that we have a leader of opposition in Parliament, we really don't need that at the end of the day, because we have to be honest with ourselves. We even don't have a Parliament as of now. The Parliament that we have is already captured, the sad reality, because these members of Parliament that are actually there, some of them forget that in as much as you are in Kenya Kwanza, you have an oversight duty of the same government. And that is why I said that an appeaser is one who feeds a crocodile hoping to eat him last. Okay. They forget that you are meant to critique the same government that you feel you formed. And that is sad reality, is that because they think that when you oversight, those who are out in the cold should be oversighting the government. But as a member of Parliament, you have 3 key functions. That is oversight, legislation, and representation. So the oversight is on every single member of Parliament in that house. Now, they feel that Parliament is not the best place for this. So one, they want a theatre. How do you have a theatre? We have supporters. You take it to them. That is number one. Because whatever is in Parliament is delegated power. Power is from the people. All right? And these people, if, for example, they want to demonstrate, there is no issue. But I believe that, I believe what we should be conversing is the cause honest enough? Because at the end of the day, there will always be a political game behind it. Because someone doesn't do anything without planning on how they're going to gain. Okay. So we have to, in as much as they're talking about the cost of living, if it comes down, it benefits us. But in as much as they do whatever they're doing, which we know there's always going to be a political game somehow, because the issue is how they replace the IBC commissioners. Because you see, the process has started. And we are meant to have the panel of 7 individuals. So they feel that if they do this, maybe they might corner and actually come up to a compromise on how we have the new ABC moving forward.
All right.